afternoon, YouTubes. Car Biker here again. Just another quick lunchtime ride. You'll be fed up of hearing me say that. Yesterday I actually came out and recorded 4 vlogs. Trying to get a few in because the storms we're having at the minute are certainly stopping us getting out on the bike as much as we'd like to. I've got a helicopter coming in there. I don't know if you ought to see that on the old drift. What might help you see it is yesterday I was testing the various frame rates on the drift, and I put up a video asking your opinion about 25 frames per second versus 30 frames per second and what have you. Thank you all for your feedback, much appreciated. And also mention resolutions, and all the videos I've been recording have been at 1080p, kind of HD television quality. And I always find they get mangled by the YouTube processing, whatever they do to it. And a lot of people gave me a lot of good advice, so thank you very much. So I thought I'd give a try to 720p today. So I'm now recording at 720p, and I'm recording at 60 frames per second. And I mean, the 60 frames per second probably doesn't really make a great deal of difference. And we'll find out. It's twice as many frames, but I know that YouTube will lower it to 30 anyway, so by the time I render the video I'm going to render it down to 30 so that it's half the size it would otherwise be, or thereabouts. But I think it will help with some slow motions. So the slow motion goes quite jumpy normally, so maybe with 60 frames a second I can get twice as many frames in my slow motion as I would otherwise. We'll see what that looks like. So I suppose this is a cue to insert a slow motion shot. Back in a second. Okay, so hopefully that looked better. Very strange talking about something I haven't done yet. But the main difference is the 720. Now, in theory, I reckon 720 is enough for a decent quality picture, especially on YouTube. Where I say everything gets mangled by the compression process anyway. The only difference, the only bit I'm not sure I'm going to like or not, is that with the drift camera going to 720, presumably it just uses fewer pixels on the sensor rather than kind of oversampling, because it narrows the field of view. So the field of view normally is 170 degrees, so you're almost seeing what's right next to me, whereas the field of view in 720 mode comes down to, I think it's 127 degrees. So you're kind of seeing 60 degrees-ish off to each side. So we're losing probably about 20-25 degrees of vision through each side. I would imagine if I didn't point it out that nobody would actually notice, but after doing, I think now, about 70 videos with the 170 degrees 1080p view, I don't know if it's going to make a big difference to particularly the random clippages, where there have been some things that I've uploaded that have been seen by the camera when they've been right in my periphery, and I've only really known that something was going on when I've heard a toot of the horn. So, for example, the one where there were two cars trying to get into the same lane. I can't remember, one of the very early random clippage videos. Can't remember which one. So, we'll see what that looks like, and I suppose to demonstrate the 127 versus 170 degree angles, I should insert maybe a side by side or some kind of overlaid clip. I'm really testing my my limits with the old movie studio now, but let's try that now. So, there you go, there's the difference. You've seen the difference in the wide angle shot, and you've seen the difference in the frame rate for slow motions. And obviously I haven't seen it yet, but by the time you watch this I will have, and by then I'll have worked out whether I like it or not. So let me know what you think. And if the consensus is that 720 is good enough and potentially better, then we'll go with 720. I mean, it also means that, yeah, once you've rendered it down to 30 frames per second, in theory the file sizes will be less than half the size, because, you know, the 2/3 smaller in each direction for the 1080 versus 720, so 4/9 the size, just less than half. So in theory I should be able to have a lower bit rate that still gives potentially a better quality. Who knows? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, YouTubes. Ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.